This outspoken fighter underestimated Naoya Inoue. He even mocked him.
You know, we see things that we're going to be able to take advantage to take him all away from his game, and it's going to lead us to the victory. Has he really been tested? Like, all his fights been in Japan. Half of them were at 108. You know, fighting guys that stand right in front of him. You know, everything went his way. You know, he's at home, lower weight class, so we don't know. But Saturday we're gonna make him fight, and we're gonna see if he really is what the hype is all about.
To him, Inoue wasn't a global danger. He saw him as a sheltered champion, walking into unknown territory. What he failed to realize was that mocking Naoya Inoue doesn't shake him, it ignites him. In September 2016, beneath the blazing lights of Dignity Health Sports Park in California, Inoue wasn't just defending a world title. He was delivering his American statement. Already feared in Japan for his pinpoint knockouts and merciless efficiency.
No, you are no monster. You are a Japanese turtle.
All I need Inoue to do is, I need him to come fight in the U.S., random blood and urine testing. He take a lot of my stuff from my playbook.
Do you have a favorite fighter now that's active?
Asian, like Naoya
Inoue, amazing fighter.
Yeah, he's a good fighter, and I hope that he will accomplish in different weight division also.
I definitely got that one wrong, and Inoue, we know he's a quality fighter, but I have to give him props. You know, great performance, and you know, definitely sits in that top 5 pound for pound.
He ridiculed the notion that the monster had ever faced a true challenge. He cast doubt on whether a boxer who forged his name in Japan could genuinely endure beneath the bright lights of America, suggesting that when authentic pressure set in, the mystique would shatter and the excitement surrounding him would fade.
I know I've been asked this a million times, but what made Inoue so difficult to figure out that night? Or?
It wasn't that what made him difficult. It's that my body wouldn't allow me to do the things like
weight cut.
Back. Yeah, it wouldn't allow me to do the things. I rehydrate and everything. It wouldn't allow me to do things that I wanted to do. But you know, we'll see him when we get another belt and probably at a different weight class.
Okay.
I'm proud of the fact that I put Inoue on my pound for pound list. I don't know, 3 years ago, whatever it was. I don't even know how long.
That's true.
And no one...
You've been on him before I even knew who he was.
Ken, no one had him anywhere near it. They basically barely knew who he was, as you just touched on. And obviously he dominated Fulton, or at least put it this way, he established control right from the start. He made Fulton's a defensive fighter, a good counter puncher. He made him concentrate more on defense and surviving than Fulton really wanted to early. He set the course of the fight.
He observes, adapts, and systematically breaks down resistance until nothing remains but consequence.
As I said, I picked Inoue to win, but I thought it would be a much more closely contested fight than it was by a person whom I now consider. I was wavering a little bit, you know, but I now consider after having watched that in its entirety, you're looking at a generational talent.
Just explain kind of what you think of him as a fighter. You've kind of both progressed in the pound for pound rankings together over the years. When did you first start watching him, and what do you make of him now?
I think I started watching him probably like a couple years ago, but he'll fight a fighter. He's definitely someone he got the whole package. I believe so. If you want to say a fighter that got the whole he's one of them. Definitely, for sure. I don't really see myself really like fighting him. Like, that would be a reach, you know? Or if I like, probably, I don't see myself fighting him. Not really. I honestly don't.
He's a really good fighter. He's crafty. He trains with Joel Diaz and Indio, and it would not surprise me at all, but Inoue is the best. You have to always pick Inoue. And if Inoue wins as expected, he will defend his Ring Magazine Championship December 27th against David Picasso. I think he's a pretty good fighter. Mexican, young, exciting.
He's definitely the top from the eye test, at least. You know, for me, he's just so explosive. His combination, the way he moves, you know, you see him get dropped, come back, knock the dude out. So for me, you can't really go wrong picking Inoue.
You agree with this? Is it smart? This guy is selling out massive arenas, massive stadiums in Japan. Does he need to come to the States, in your opinion, to level up? Or is he one of those rare cases who should just stay at home because he's such a big draw there?
No, boxing's a worldwide sport. I mean, if you can fill out stadiums or arenas like Inoue does consistently all the time, why do you need to go to America? Now look, I understand the want to go to America. If there was a big American fighter to fight, then it kind of makes sense, right? Let's get him in, I don't know, Vegas, or as you mentioned, Madison Square Garden against an American. But there is no big American to fight. I mean, the big names really are in Asia. Nakatani is one of them. There's been a lot of talk about a guy called Nick Ball. We'll say a guy, you know who Nick Ball is, featherweight champion. There's been some talk of that. That's not going to happen in America. So this want to get him to America all of a sudden to appease the American fight fans, I don't quite get. This guy does incredible numbers in Asia.
And still as fast as lightning.
Yeah, the power that he possesses, but it's not a thumping power, it's that explosive speed, that explosive power, the footwork he gets in position, and all of a sudden he's landed 3, 4, 5 shots and then he's angled off. A lot like I did in my fight against Lopez.
Naoya have very fast. Yeah, it's a compensation. It's a very strong guy.
Brings out a big crowd, doesn't he? He's an absolute superstar in world boxing. And this was another exquisite performance.
This was his chance to confront Western doubt head-on, not with talk, but with performance. From the opening bell, there was no reckless rush, no emotional overcommitment. Naoya Inoue studied first, his lead foot position just outside the center line. His head movement was efficient, subtle enough to make punches miss without wasting energy. Antonio Nieves stepped forward with confidence, throwing combinations to establish early control and validate his pre-fight skepticism. But dominance in boxing is rarely loud, it's positional. The first clean right hand landed behind a disciplined jab, snapping Nieves' head back before his combination had finished. It wasn't wild drama. It was superior timing. Each exchange tilted slightly in Inoue's favor. Nieves was arriving a fraction too late, and in boxing, those fractions add up quickly. By the second round, Inoue had turned observation into damage. He set his feet just long enough to generate torque, firing a sharp right hand through the guard before digging a left hook into the body with thudding force. The American crowd reacted instinctively, not to flash, but to precision. The punches were compact, efficient, and heavy with purpose. Nieves tried to respond in kind, widening his shots and increasing output to prove he could match the aggression. But wider punches mean longer exposure, and extended exposure against Inoue is an invitation. His counters were tighter, straighter, and consistently first. The difference wasn't volume. It was efficiency. Frustration crept in by the third round. Nieves' posture shifted subtly. His guard rose higher to shield his head, and that adjustment exposed the body. Inoue recognized it instantly. The body attack intensified, short left hooks under the elbow, precise shots to the solar plexus, punches designed not to shock immediately but to erode gradually. When a fighter protects one level, Inoue strikes the other. He layered his offense patiently, straight right upstairs, hook downstairs, slight pivot to reset, forcing constant recalibration. Every adjustment drained energy. What began as confident dismissal turned into visible caution. By the fourth round, even before a knockdown, control was undeniable. Inoue increased pressure with calculated intent. A feint high lifted the guard, and the now familiar left hook slammed into the body with full commitment. The sound was different, deeper, heavier, and Nieves dropped to a knee, delayed in reaction as if his body needed an extra second to process the impact. He rose, but something fundamental had shifted. From then on, the fight was no longer about exposure. It was about survival. Inoue pressed in measured bursts, never crowding his own work, never swinging recklessly, straight right to freeze the guard, subtle pivot, left hook to the ribs, step out, reset, repeat. Every sequence carried intention. Nieves' offense became reactive rather than strategic. His punches lacked their earlier authority. His footwork lost its balance. The pre-fight laughter about being untested had vanished, replaced by the realization that he was operating at a different tempo than the man before him. By the sixth round, the outcome felt inevitable. Inoue advanced with calm certainty, driving straight rights through a tightening guard and ripping hooks to the body that echoed throughout the arena at Dignity Health Sports Park. At one moment, he subtly invited Nieves to engage, confident any exchange would favor him. It wasn't showmanship, it was assurance. The referee and the corner both saw what was unfolding. Sustained punishment to head and body carries consequences beyond a single night. The decision came. The fight was stopped. The outspoken challenger who had mocked Inoue was methodically dismantled beneath the American lights.